All right, well, welcome to our banking panel. Our theme is Better Together. I think, we have all heard today that the fact that we can be together in this room for the first time since I've participated in Small Business Development Day is astounding. I think what's been most important to me as I've thought and planned about this day with Jay, who's done a phenomenal job of putting this together, is that this isn't just about US Bank, right? This is about the financing of small businesses and your banking needs. And that can't just be done with one bank. I think you need the perspectives of everybody on this panel. They have different strengths, different wisdoms, different life experiences that all color and help them advise their clients. And so it was always really an important tenet of today to have a wide representation. And so I'm incredibly grateful to have you all on the panel today. Without further ado, if we can start on the end there, if you could just give a brief introduction about yourself and your experience, we'll go down the line for our first question today.
I'm Andrew Ward, Genesis Bank. I'm the head of SBA government guaranteed lending. I've been in banking since 1991. Started in the credit side of things and eventually moved into the sales SBA side. What I love about this is helping people, and this is what this panel is all about, so I'm really thankful to be part of this. Nice to be here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Morning. My name is AJ Jamal. I'm with Community Commerce Bank. I've been in the industry for about 58 years now, and with the bank for 32. And one of the reasons I joined Community Commerce Bank at the time when I was younger and naive was we worked a lot with minorities. So our bank is owned by a company called Untitled, a nonprofit organization. And so we're underneath the corporate umbrella, so we make all the money for the nonprofit venture while making low-income housing for people. It was one of the ways that I wanted to give back to the community. And having worked with minorities throughout my whole life, I decided to come in and join ABAOC and expand my horizon with different communities, because I work a lot with the Asian community. So we're a direct lender. We keep all of our loans. We don't sell it up on secondary marketing. And I've been with the bank for 32 years. I'm the top producer in the bank. I've been that way for many, many years. And as we move on to the program, I'll tell you a little bit more about what I do. So nice to meet you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm getting love on both sides. So my name is Jimmy Mai. I am an affluent business manager at Wells Fargo Bank. Been with the firm for now 22 years, and my role is to support our affluent and business clients, have a full balance sheet approach for our clients. I'm excited to be here to chat a little bit more on the business financing. I'm actually really passionate about the ABAOC because I've been with the ABAOC for maybe like 10, 12 years. Yeah, 10, 12 years, and I continue to see the growth of the organization to support our small business owners. So I'm excited to be here today and talk a little more about some financing opportunities at
Good morning, everyone. I'm Mark Morales, Vice President and SBA Loan Specialist for City National Bank. I'm also the primary point of contact for supplier diversity for the bank. I have about 20 plus years of experience in SBA lending and business banking relationship management. 9 years ago, I purchased one of my clients with my partner, got it certified as a diverse-owned business, and started a second career in supplier diversity. I'm the chair of the Diversity Task Force for the State of California Department of Insurance, and I'm looking forward to talking to you about certification and financing.
Good morning, everybody. Damian Piro. I am with US Bank. I'm the business banking market leader for Orange County. We really focus on companies anywhere from startup companies to companies up to about $25 million in revenue. Just excited to be here. Amanda, loved hearing your story and all the other speakers. So, we're passionate about powering human potential when it comes to business owners, and that's really our focus. We work with all sorts of different businesses, and we really try to add value and find ways to help them move forward in a positive direction and with growth. So excited to talk with everybody today.
Thank you so much. I'm really excited to hear about the wide variety of experiences here. I'm going to direct this first question to Mark first. And I think when we think about banking products, right, this is my first venture into business banking this year. And it's come to my attention, right, that we've got loans and deposits, and then there are other banking products that complement and help a business succeed. And so I'm curious to hear insights, right, about what products you would recommend small businesses think about together. So not only are we focused on being better together here as individuals, but I think I'd like to open up some insights, right, on what banking products together make a business better. So Mark, I'll start with you.
Great. So banks don't have magical products that we work for and have for your business. What we do have is products that can help your business grow, manage a cash flow, purchase a building, buy inventory, or purchase another business. So I'm going to actually put this back onto you. What you want to do is have a conversation with your business banker, your relationship manager, and make sure that they understand what your business is about and what your business needs. And so when you're having this discussion, especially if you're looking at lending, there's 3 things that a bank needs to know that you need to be able to tell them and speak to intelligently when you come in and ask for a loan. Number 1, how much money do you need? The answer should never be, how much can I get, right? Number 2, what are you going to use that money for specifically? Because then we would tailor our product to whatever you're going to use that money for. And number 3, and probably the most important, how can you demonstrate to the bank that you can pay that money back with interest on time, whether it is from historical revenue, projected revenue, purchase orders or contracts, or a combination. We need to know more about you, and you need to know about us so that we can match the products to you.
That was a great answer. Anything that we would add to that conversation? Yeah, anyone, go for it.
One of the things out of the pandemic that I think we all realized was working capital is very, very precious. And as we're coming out of the pandemic with supply chain issues, really management of working capital is a key. So we're going to get a lot of interesting answers to this question up here. But one thing I focused on was the utilization or a combination of products such as a commercial card and a line of credit. Now, why is that critical? Well, if you utilize a commercial card to its maximum efficiency, you can actually play a float of about 57 days. That means you get all the rewards points, which can be converted into all sorts of wonderful things. That's great. But you're also utilizing the lender's money for free. That will allow you to extend your credit, now utilizing the float for 57 days. And if you need further credit, then you can utilize your line of credit, pay off the credit card, and that kind of minimizes your interest expense. So if it's something that you have to finance, say, over 90 days in the short term, having 57 days of free credit and then utilizing the line will maximize the utilization of both products. And what I learned at Genesis Bank, which was something not in my area of expertise, was an analysis can be done of all of your receivables, of all of your accounts and your merchant services commercial cards, and they can come up with a process of maximizing the utilization of the commercial card to minimize your interest expense, but essentially also kind of extend your credit out. That means you're probably not going to max out your line of credit because you're utilizing the commercial card the right way to have the ultimate capital structure of utilization for working capital. I think that's really critical to understand. We all kind of know that from our personal use of of credit cards, but we may not actually apply it to the commercial cards, at least in an efficient way. So I think that's really important, and it's something, again, at Genesis Bank, we do a free analysis for our clients to make sure that they are maximizing the use of both products.
Thank you, Andrew. AJ, what about you?
Well, we're kind of unique in the sense that we don't offer business lines of credits, credit cards. And we're a little bank, so we work with the community quite a bit. Most of the products that I deal with are strictly just real estate secured. So we'll do small loans from 50,000 up to 4 million on our real estate side. It's all based on securing some type of real estate, whether it be a restaurant or a light industrial building or a commercial condo, multifamily, auto-related. We do a wide variety of products. We also do nonprofits. So I am probably one of the biggest places of worship of lenders in the state. I've been doing this since 1976. Our company has been doing it since 1976. I'm not that old, but only 32 years in the bank.
You started in kindergarten.
It's a little bit more unique in what we offer. You know, I can partner with my colleagues up here for transferring if a customer needs a line of credit or business loans. Typically, our bank strictly deals with real estate.
Jimmy, can you tell me a little bit about your thoughts from Wells Fargo?
Yeah, so you know, I absolutely agree with my colleagues up here. You know, the first thing is there's so many business cycles. We have, you know, startups you have to manage that aspect, and all the way to if you want to grow, you have to understand how to optimize your cash flows. So many different products that Wells Fargo offers out there. We take care of clients with $5,000 credit card needs to the last deal we just did with one of my bankers who's a $4 million commercial loan property to do some manufacturing. So we have a wide variety of product and service to support our clients. But again, it's all about listening and understanding your business need, understanding how we can educate you on our products and services that really optimize your cash flows and your needs of your product and services. And then really allowing us to empower you, after we educate you, empower you to make those decisions to either grow, manage, or expand your banking relationship with our firm. We know that we are only as strong as the communities we serve. So as we listen to understand you and your needs, we can give you those products and services that can help you grow and maintain for years to come.
And Damien, how about from US Bank's perspective?
We're still on bundling product, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you know, I would just add this to what's been said. So I think there's value in having relationships with multiple banks, but I will tell you, I think when it comes to all things money movement with your business, it's really important to have a relationship with one particular bank. I think you can include fraud prevention and so many different things that come into play. And I'll give you an example. We had somebody that we see fraud all the time, by the way, whether it be through your credit card, whether it be through your accounts. When you have it all with one bank, it does help, if God forbid something were to happen, to solve that problem easier than versus being spread out between multiple banks. You have a card here, you're processing your merchant credit cards through somewhere else, and you've got your accounts here. We had a customer that had fraud on their account. It was actually started through their credit card, that was the B of A, and then they were processing over here. And it became very complicated to solve the problem and get their money back. So I think when banks talk about, hey, we want your relationship, there's true value in that in regards to service performance and how we can help you. To everybody's point, how do we understand your business and help it holistically? So I just wanted to add that about keeping things bundled.
Thanks, I love that. And I think that you've got a lot of good perspectives here. One theme that I'm hearing kind of throughout every single answer is it's so important to have a relationship, right? That you have a discussion to identify the unique needs from your small business and to have someone there as your business evolves, right? We're all here as developing small businesses today. And so having someone there from the start to your growing maturity in the market, to hopefully being like Amanda someday, right? That would really be phenomenal. And I think the relationships that you develop with your banker are a key part of that. So with that, we're gonna rewind a little bit as we're thinking about those starting businesses or ones that are maybe having a little bit of financial trouble as they're kicking off the ground. Is there any specific advice that you would give to a startup or a business maybe with working on their cash flow?
Oh, I can start. You know, has anybody in here seen the show The Prophet? It's a very well-to-do business owner who goes in and he helps small businesses, right? And so the first thing he does is to try to help them out is he just, first of all, just goes and puts eyes on the business. But the next thing, bar none, is always, can I see your financials? And it seems like 8 out of 9 times out of 10, the financials are a mess and they don't understand it. And that's really like the basic, most foundational piece of everything. So whether your business is just starting out, you know, it's so, if a little extra money to spend time with your CPA, if it's on a quarterly basis, understand your income statement and balance sheet. Right? You should be doing that every day, every month, but at least at minimum, depending on what your business is, on a quarterly basis, spend time to understand what is your balance sheet, what is happening on your income statement, so you can tell your story to your banker, right? It's such a critical part because your banker understands all the complexities of the bank. It's their job to understand your business and, more importantly, your financials of where you are today and where you want to go, and then connect it with the bank to help you get you where you need to be. And that's what we see all the time is we'll say, okay, I understand your business. Now tell me about this on your financials. And it's like, well, I don't know. That makes it very difficult for a banker to help you get to wherever you're trying to get to, whether that be loans or, you know, anything else that's happening with your business. So I'd say that is like the most important thing that I would say. Yeah.
We'll go down, Mark.
So I might weigh in on exactly what you just said. You know, being a numbers guy and being a banker for so many years, you know, it was a real eye-opening experience when we actually purchased the business that, you know, my partner worked for. And what I realize is, especially when it comes to the creative side, you know, and those entrepreneurs, they're great at, you know, telling the story about their product or service, but they're not really always great on operating the business side of their business. And so if you don't understand your financials, you don't understand how to do lease negotiation, you don't understand how to work with your vendors, if you're doing import-export, you know, all about the foreign exchange and online wires and, you know, the ports and bringing stuff in, if you don't know that kind of stuff, it's going to be harder and harder for you to succeed. I always look back to why businesses fail, right? So in the first 3 years, that's when most businesses fail. And, you know, I find that there's, you know, 3 primary reasons. One, you misjudge the market. Your product or service is not serving the community that you're trying to sell it to. Number 2 is you borrow more money than you could ever pay back, or you borrow more money at an interest rate that you cannot survive and actually improve your cash flow and be able to grow your business. And then the third one is not being able to understand how to operate the business side of your business. If you're not good at that, then hire somebody who is.
I like that. Mark, one quick follow-up before we go to Jimmy. I'm curious about purchasing a business and how that's affected how you serve clients as a banker. Do you feel like you do that differently now?
So yes, well, number 1, being a business owner, I can speak intelligently about all of the issues that you have as a business owner because I've dealt with it. Right? So business acquisition and, you know, specifically the SBA's 7A program, which allows business acquisition, you know, this is a way of building wealth, especially in our diverse communities. You know, most people think I want to start a business. Well, it's a lot harder to start a business than it is to acquire one that's already existing, and especially now because we're seeing that many business owners have decided we're going to retire. Baby boomers are retiring. People got comfortable being at home, you know, with COVID and the pandemic, and they're looking at selling their businesses. So, you know, take a look at that, and especially if you're an employee for somebody else, right? That's getting older, that is thinking about selling their business. You know, selling the business to the employees, which is how we acquired our business, makes sense because they already understand the operations of the business, and you're helping to pass that wealth building on to the people that helped build your wealth.
I love that answer. And Jimmy, from Wells Fargo's perspective?
You know, for me, one of the biggest things, understanding a full balance sheet approach for our clients is crucial and key. But after that, it's strategies and ideas. What processes and strategies do you have into place to project for the future? What backup plans do you have? Understanding from the cash flow and the financials, what strategies do you have in place So really telling that story from the numbers and analytics aspect is definitely going to be supportive of any of the financing that you would like to do, because we know you get your story, you get your business. Once you understand your financials and your cash flows, and then have a strategy to showcase what you're going to do with it, that really helps build the confidence and competency of your business. And that's some of the things that we look for in our entrepreneurs trying to go to the next level in finance.
Good answer. AJ?
Mike here. So community commerce bank, we're a little bit different in the sense that we're going to be looking at the tax returns of the borrower very carefully, like my colleagues here suggested. Since I'm primarily focused just on the real estate itself, I get a lot of customers that come in and nobody likes to pay taxes. And so when we're looking at the Schedule E on your tax return to see how a property cash flows based on the income that it's generating, a lot of times I'll get a customer saying, well, I'm making X amount of dollars on the building, but your tax returns are showing something different. They're not claiming all their rents. That makes it very difficult for us to try to get that loan approved. So definitely take time. If you're going to apply for a loan, look at your tax returns. Take time to spend time with your CPA to make sure that they understand debt service coverage ratios of the building, how to qualify the building. You know, as after the financial crisis, all of us are regulated by a principal called the FDIC, FTC, etc. These regulators, they come in and they look at your files and go, well, why did you make this customer a loan when they probably doesn't qualify? Or look at what their tax returns are showing. So we have to be able to answer to them also. So it's important that you spend time with your CPA or some type of financial planner to help you with that before you go in for a loan.
You know, and Andrew.
I'm going to take it in a little different direction. When you're a startup business or a business that's newer, you have to be very cautious of a couple of things. So Mark brought up high interest rate loans. It's very easy to go online nowadays and apply, and in 24 hours you have money in your account. And it's such a whirlwind, you just look and see, well, wait a minute, it's 29% interest rate. And then the next need for capital happens and you're applying again online. You can very, very easily get into a situation where you've got debt with different lenders, but also at an interest rate that is basically going to put your business in a capitalization situation where you're not going to be able to grow in your handcuff because you won't have cash flow. Also be very careful of the equity route. So there are equity lenders out there, and you see this on Shark Tank. I think most of you watch Shark Tank. I'll give up 30% of my business to get $150,000. Okay, well, you do that. Now my idea, my hard work, I have to share with somebody else who's just giving me money. And then perhaps you do another equity raise, and all of a sudden you're not even a majority owner anymore, and you're working for somebody else. So be very careful of the equity. It seems very cheap, but in the long run, it might not be cheap. There's reasons to go the equity route. It shouldn't be because of needing $150,000 and just giving away your idea and your hard work that it took to get to that point. From a startup perspective, there are programs out there. Mark referenced the SBA program. So there's a community advantage program that can be used for startups. It's a very marketable rate, in my opinion, favorable terms, and it can be used for projections, situations with reasonable assumptions. And it's a way to get appropriate debt at an interest rate that is marketable and at a repayment source that is over a length of time that makes it very feasible for clients. Talk to your lender. Also talk to your business associations. There are a lot of programs out there. You can talk to the mayor's office, the Chamber of Commerce. You can approach the state levels. There's a lot of programs that come in and out that are grant programs that are very targeted, that are not debt. They are grant money. Monies that you can get, I don't want to say for free, but if you meet the criteria, you can have access to those funds. So just don't think of banks as well as the source for funds or the internet. You can actually go to the business associations. They're tied into what's going on in the communities, and there might be avenues for you to get capital that be very advantageous. So always keep your mind open and use the resources available to you to make sure that you make the best choice. Just don't jump in and put yourself in a situation where it's going to be very difficult for you to grow later.
I love all of the layers of advice that we're getting here. I can tell that you all know a lot about the business, and I really appreciate it. I know that we had a couple of other pre-planned questions, but we've covered a lot of really good ground. So I want to open it up to the small businesses, right? And specific banking questions that you might have here in our last 10 minutes or so. Are there any questions from the group or things that you want to know specifically about banking? Yeah.
So if you guys were to give us like a niche, right? Give us a niche. I'd like to hear the niches from your bank, you know, just to kind of diversify some of the programming that's offered to us small businesses. I really, you know, enjoy all the information that you guys are giving. You know, I definitely want to know more about each of your banks, your strengths, but definitely the niche, because you know, when I was doing mortgage banking, there was always that niche that got me in the door, and then I had access to everything else. So I'd like to hear a niche from each of you. That would be good. You want me to go?
We have all sorts of niches. I mean, listen, is that better? All right, thank you. So, I mean, listen, the reality is we're very much relationship focused, right? So we have a couple. I mean, we do anything and everything for a small business. Once again, call it $0 to $25 million in revenue. Whether that be an SBA loan, right? You just want to open an account, credit cards, merchant processing. I think a couple of things that stand out in regards to our niches. If you have your credit card processing through us along with the credit card, we have that combination. We have an opportunity for you to earn cash back on some of those combined processes. So our job is, right, now, I think when you think about banks, they're like, traditionally thinking, you think, okay, they hold my money, they charge me fees, and maybe they give me a loan. Well, that is not how you should think of your bank. You should be coming to your bank and saying, how can you save me money and help me with my cash flows and put money in my pocket? And I think that's where we really stand out, because there's so many of those money movement products that we can combine together and really put money back into your pocket. So I'd say that's a niche for us, because our credit card payments processing, some of the money movement options we have, when combined together, can really save you money and make you more efficient. We have equipment, so if any business in here is looking to purchase any type of equipment, we have an application only, up to like 150,000. So customers that just say, hey, and right, you talk about supply chain needs, and all of a sudden something comes up and I just got to get that piece of equipment. We can turn that around in about 24 hours with an application only. Sometimes you don't even have to submit financials. That's something that's unique in the market as well. We only have 10 minutes, so I could keep going, but I'm going to just pause there and pass it on to the other group here.
So City National Bank is a high net worth individual bank. Our primary focus and where we really succeed is in commercial real estate, owner-user commercial real estate. So even though we're more of a regional bank, we're number 2 in SBA 504 lending, which is commercial purchase and refinance of commercial real estate. And we do that because we love commercial real estate and we like that kind of lending. If your business touches the entertainment industry, then we are the entertainment bank. We bank 85% of the entertainment industry, simply because we are focused on that type of client. But yeah, we're a full service commercial bank. The thing that I think makes us really different than anybody else is, all banks say that they're relationship banks, but our relationship managers are tasked to touch their clients either with an in-person meeting or phone call each month, to understand what's going on with their business so that things are not a surprise. And how is that different for you? I will tell you, when PPP first rolled out, it was very difficult for people who did not have a contact at their bank to get a PPP loan. But because every single customer at City National has a relationship manager attached, They were able to call that relationship manager, and we were able to process, outsized number of PPP loans for the size of bank that we are. So whatever bank you deal with, make sure you have a person, not just an 800 number, right? Because that's the person you're gonna need to call when you need help.
All right, so at Wells Fargo, we have all the niches, like we have all the products and services to help any kind of client from 0 to $50 million in revenue. You have to go to your bank, you have to connect with them, and you gotta tell them your story. One of the biggest things that we've been telling some of our clients in the healthcare world is we have practice finance. We can finance equipment for your dentist, optometrist, just a wide range of connectabilities for those type of clients too. So I didn't actually know that until a few years ago, and we were one of the #1 leaders in our healthcare practice finance divisions. They've also told us that we buy out practices too. So for an entrepreneur, that dentist that just got out of college, practices a few years, and wants to get into buying a practice, we do buyout for that. So there are so many products and services from the $5,000 credit card all the way to the big equipment loans, the healthcare practitioners. We have products and services to help all scales of business in every single industry. Now, you gotta sit and listen and learn and talk to those bankers and have that relationship connections with those small business bankers. We also do have abilities to have dedicated relationship managers at certain levels of your practice and your business. You have to share, got to go in there and connect with some of our bankers and listen to understand, because they'll connect you to the right person. And then as we continue to know your story, know your process, and know your strategies, we can now tailor fit a customized plan to help you grow your practice, your business to the next level. So not too many niches, but so many different products and services to help our clients succeed financially.
AJ?
Thank you. So we offer CDs and savings accounts, and through a raise of hands, how many people are earning less than 0.02%? Anybody else is earning more than that? Okay, so we're paying 0.75 on our Vault account, and you can do that online at ccombank.com. We also offer a little higher CD rates than my colleagues up here, because we charge a little bit more in our rates. So we have to do that for our real estate financing. Right now, I'm pretty competitive with the marketplace. We offer 30-year fully amortized loans. I don't have an 800 line, but you can call me direct. I have a booth outside. You can come by and pick up my card. I'll be more than happy to speak with you. Once again, we're real estate secured, so if you're looking to pull cash out of your properties, please give me a call. I'll be happy to walk the deal with you. Make sure that you qualify, look at your tax returns, and make sure your CPA takes a look at them first, so that it shows that you have enough cash flow for the financing of the type of loan you're trying to get to. We have 3 branches in California. I cover everything from Santa Rosa down to San Diego, out to Apple Valley. And we do a multitude of properties. If you'd like to give me a call, I'll be happy to tell you if I can help you or not help you in a very fast, effective way. Thank you.
And Andrew?
Great, thank you. What makes Genesis Bank different is there's about 5,000 banks in the U.S. 142 of them at last count were minority depository institutions. Of those, only 2 banks are multiracial minority depository institutions. Genesis Bank is one of those 2. It's a big differentiator for us. We're very involved in the community. Secondly, and I think this is really important and it ties up what everyone else has talked about, having access to resources. We have created the Genesis Bank Institute for Entrepreneurship. That brings about 30 to 40 different partners, from insurance services, ESOP planning, retirement services, real estate purchases, purchases of acquisition of business, equipment purchases. What this is a client who is part of our bank has access to all of these resources, which are there for large companies because they'll have different departments that would handle all of these things. But a small business owner can't spend the money to do that. But you need those services as you grow. And having access at one point to be able to be brought into any of those partners that you need is a huge differentiator for Genesis Bank. And I appreciate being on the panel, and thank you all for being here, and we will open up to any questions.
Yeah. Anything else from the group? Got time for one more? Tom?
Yeah, I've got a question for U.S. Bank. I know internally it might be challenging for you with the merger.
Yeah.
But how has that afforded more opportunities for us business owners?
With the potential merger of Union Bank.
Yeah, or just in general, maybe Wells, this applies to Wells too, just in general, when banks get larger, how does that really kind of impact us?
Yeah.
Good and bad.
Yeah. Good question. So yes, U.S. Bank is in a time where we're looking at merging or purchasing Union Bank. That hasn't gone through yet, but we're in the process of that. And so there's a number of things, right, that take place there. One of the, there's regulators look at these big mergers and acquisitions, and there's a tremendous amount of scrutiny that's taking place with those types of acquisitions. And I would say one of the things that is looked at first when deciding the approval of that transaction happening, the first question is, how are you going to impact our communities in a positive way? What is the benefit? And so we recently just announced a $100 billion commitment nationwide into our community. 60% of that is going to be taking place just right here in California, whether that be through supporting minority-owned businesses and other community involvement. So that's a big one right off the top, right? I mean, you talk about $100 billion commitment to our communities. That's impactful. That's making a difference. So that's at a broader scale, right? The other thing is, one of the big keys for us, and I think it's something that you should all consider when looking at a bank, is the technology. I can tell you at U.S. Bank, we've doubled, tripled down on our investment into technology. Everything is done right through your phone. We have the #1 rated banking app in the country. And that was something that Union Bank had not advanced as much. So that's another thing, right? So we're able to help that bank from a technology standpoint step up. So they have, right, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of customers that we are now able to serve better through our technology platform. But then you just talk about two really great organizations coming together. They have things that we don't, we have things that they don't. How do you combine those together to help serve our customers, right? So that could be anything from lending to, like I said, technology. So, I mean, it's vast of what takes place from a big level of what's going to take place and the money that's going to be poured into communities and small businesses and minority-owned businesses to, like I said, helping existing customers through technology and other sorts. So, and I'll just speak to the two cultures are have a lot of synergies. I don't know if many of you know this, but U.S. Bank is rated one of the most ethical companies, not banks, one of the most ethical companies in the world by J.D. Power. So that's a really big accomplishment. And Union Bank has a really strong culture as well. So the combining of that, I think, is just going to be tremendous for all the customers and potential customers as well.
Thanks, Damian, for the answer. And I think when we talk about strong ethical cultures, right, and giving back to the community, that actually applies to this entire banking panel as well. And I really appreciate you all taking the time here today to speak with our attendees here on Small Business Development Day. I think the biggest and largest lesson that I'm taking away from this is that really the power of the bank is for your individual relationship and your business goals. And I would encourage you to reach out to anybody who's on the panel. You can find their information either in the digital program or through our website, or I think they'll be walking around after this. And so I'll volunteer you all to talk to our small businesses attending today. Get to know each other. Find out if their niche aligns with what you're doing. If it feels like the right relationship, maybe they have a contact elsewhere, either at your bank or somewhere else for you. What I appreciate the most about everyone who we asked to speak today it comes from the heart. It's not just about their financial institution, it's about the right relationship for you. And so please take advantage of talking to them after this panel. And thank you so much for attending, you guys. I appreciate it.